Thanks for joining me on my journey into digital art. Hi, thanks for joining me. Today I shall be painting one of my favourite flowers, the harebell. So thanks for joining me. I will be using stamp brushes again to help with the composition. Let's see how I get on. I will talk you through it. Here you can see I've used a stamp brush to put several harebells in position on a green background that has a few lines in it to make it look like it's a little bit busy. So once I've put the stamp brush harebells in place, the next thing I did was give them some shape by using different tones of purpley blue colours and white to give it a highlight. I also put a little cap on the top. The next thing I did was do a stamp brush of a different shape harebell. On this you can see that it's swinging towards us, if you like. You can see two extra petals hanging down the back. So I did 3 or 4 of those, put those into the painting, spread them about a bit, and again use the same method for painting the actual bells. Highlights and darker places just give the thing some form. Then I thought, well, I better try and get some distance into this painting. So using the same stamp brush but smaller, I did a few more stamps to see what they would look like. And indeed, they did look as if they were in the distance. They would look slightly faded. So I gave them a little bit colour, but not quite so bright as the ones at the front. And once those were done and successful, I thought I'd better have some in the middle ground. And here you can see I've put some more in. It's getting quite busy now. There are bells all over the place. They all need their little hats on. Once that was done, I decided to start putting a few stalks in, and I thought I'd better have a few buds because all the bells wouldn't be out at the same time in full bloom. So I did another stamp brush, did some buds, and you can see now they're populating the rest of the painting and giving it a little bit more form. Once that was done, the next part was probably the easiest part of the drawing or the painting, was putting in the stalks and joining in all the leaves and fronds to make it look like the bells are not just hanging about in the middle of nowhere. Getting the shapes and the connections was very interesting and quite fun to do. It was good to be taking some of the stalks behind other bells, and that also helped to create an illusion of depth. You can see now that it's getting quite busy. And as I was going on with this, I'll be honest with you that I thought, well, this is getting very busy now, but it's just, it needs a focal point, to put it bluntly. So I had this idea of putting a common blue butterfly on it. I've never done a blue butterfly before. In fact, I've never painted a digital butterfly in my life. So it was going to be new for me. So anyhow, I thought I'd get a butterfly, stick it somewhere around the thirds, so it wasn't in the middle of the painting. And I thought I'll just put it on a new layer and we'll see how it goes. If it's a load of crap, I can always take it off, and we've got a nice picture of some harebells. So there you go. You saw the old butterfly fluttering in. I don't know how it did that, but it looked good, didn't it? It wasn't my doing. Anyhow, I did the back wing first and coloured that up, and I thought, well, it's doing reasonably well, so I'll carry on with it. And then it was just a matter of taking me time and filling in the veins, trying to get it look pretty delicate, putting in the eye and some colouring, the markings. It was quite a long job actually doing the butterfly. In fact, if I was to time it, I think the butterfly took about 40% of the time of the whole painting. It wasn't a quick job to do. I had to keep going over a few things and touching things up and trying to make it look better, but it's a lot easier digitally because you can just keep painting over the top of colours until you get it right. The eye was another thing to get right in the right place, but doing it digitally, it was quite simple. The black was black, and putting a highlight in it with white was relatively easy. If I'd have been doing it in watercolour, it would have probably looked a bit of a mess. The only other thing about this butterfly is that at one time I was copying a photograph of a common blue butterfly, and it looked like it got 8 legs. But then I realised it was an insect, so it had 6 legs, should have 6 legs. So I had to get rid of 2 of them. But it turned out pretty well in the end. I enjoyed doing it. If you've enjoyed watching me do it, please consider subscribing. You'd be very welcome. I've only got 2 subscribers at the moment, and it looks a bit sad when you see other people on YouTube have got about 5 million. So there it is. Feeling generous. Please subscribe, and I'll see you again with another painting very soon. Thanks for watching.